That's
And
amazing.
actually, when I met her, right, and she was radiant, I was suffering from a horrible lower back problem. I couldn't get out of bed. My children had to pull me out of bed, literally, in the morning. I realized when he was telling me, I will come down to Florida, I want to take you out for dinner, I want to sleep with you. That's when I crippled myself.
It's so amazing, Julian. That realization itself, how
I
it
healed
really,
instantaneously.
the
I
moment
never had a back problem ever
since
since.
then.
Many women seem to be single and not being able to attract. Uh, many times, frequently, it's financial or people that already started their healing business. They already started out, but they are not able to get clients. They are not able to be thriving in this industry. Doesn't matter what people want to manifest. If their subconscious program is preventing it, then they're not going to manifest it. Or even if they're going to manifest it, it's going to be a temporary thing and it's going to be taken away. I was 40, I was such a pity for myself, for my childhood, for the father of my children, all the abuse, the financial struggles. I was in such a victim mode.
Have peace. Have you found it? Are you peaceful? While you're talking, do you feel that peace?
Exactly.
So it's something like you become one and then it comes out. I mean, it exudes, the whole energy exudes. You work on yourself. That's so important. Namaskar, friends. Today we have the one of the highest qualified Theta healer and instructor, and with the certificate of science master. She is so amazing that when I saw her website, I could only see I heal with love. So today we are going to talk to Zsuzsanna, who is from Hungary and has a long history behind her. I also read in her website that she was initiated to Reiki at the age of 13 by her mother. So, welcome, Zsuzsanna.
Thank you for having me.
So amazing, and thank you for accepting to be here. So, Zsuzsanna, you were initiated into Reiki at the age of 13. Is that so?
12, yes.
Oh, 12. Well, that's
12,
amazing.
13, yeah,
Yeah.
around that time.
And then, how was it?
It was my mother who took Reiki 1, and she thought I could also benefit from it. So this is a long time ago, right? In the 90s, early 90s. And that was my first introduction to energy healing. But that wasn't my first, experience when it comes to spirituality or my intuition. That was just the first modality that I was exposed to.
So, what was the experience before which, when you say that this was not the first one, right? So,
Well,
as a kid, yeah.
as a child, I had an imaginary friend who was my twin sister, who looked the same like me, and who had a name. And I was an only child, and I had a very traumatic and abusive childhood. And I think she was my twin soul. So the soul that came down to my mother's womb together with me to give me courage for this human life. And then she stayed with me for a very long time, actually.
That's so interesting, Juliana, because so many times, when we uh, listen to this experiences with children, they also say that sometimes when they have abusive parents or toxic relationship, they experience that somewhere that twin person comes alive to be their
Support.
that support, right? And they talk to them and they feel so much loved and they feel that that's the only person to talk to. Is that so? That is also they create, or it happens? What is it? Because you are into this line and you are the queen of it, with theta healing. What exactly it is?
Well, I didn't feel like she got activated at a certain time when I was, for example, starting to get abused. I feel like she was with me in my mother's womb, And she stayed with me throughout my childhood until I had this awareness and I released her.
And when did Theta happen to you?
Theta happened way further down in the.
And how come that?
So I had a girlfriend who had a sister, and she had cancer. And she was living in the United States. I was living in Hungary, and she actually came back from the States for an emergency surgery because she didn't have good healthcare insurance in the States, and they had to remove her reproductive system basically. And she's supposed to do radiation, she's supposed to do chemotherapy, and she refused. And her mother would call me and ask me, Zsuzsa, please convince her. I mean, she's going to die. And I told her, I can't convince her of something I'm not convinced of. Like, if I had cancer, I don't think that I would want to put more poison into my body.
Yeah.
I would try to look for the root cause. I would try to change my lifestyle, my diet, and heal naturally. So I couldn't convince her. However, she was asking me to take her to some healers because she didn't have a car. I was taking her to a healer, and then I moved to the States with my children. So fast forward a year later, she comes to Florida, and she's radiant. She looks amazing. She looks better than before. I'm like, what happened to you? Well, I found Theta Healing. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
I want some of that too.
And that's what I want to ask you. What's Theta Healing?
So Theta Healing is a modality, uh, meditation, reprogramming of the subconscious, genetic healing, past life healing, ancestral healing, group consciousness healings, soul healing. It's really very complex. It basically has an answer to everything and anything.
Even the physical part of it?
Even the physical parts of it, indeed.
So
because the physical is always just the manifestation of something deeper, right?
Yeah, it's so interesting, even in shamanism, because I've been practicing shamanism for over 10 years now.
Mm.
So, and even they believe the same. The shamans believe that, anything happening in your body, it has a soul, and that has to be healed, talked, loved, and then, declutter and heal that way. So
Everything
that
has
each
a
and every part,
purpose.
yeah, everything. So, Yujan, when we talk about theta healing, so what exactly does it work with? Do they work with spirit guides? Do they work with like we in shamanism, we work with spirit guides and power animals, and alternate realities. So what's that process in theta healing?
So we also have that aspect. We believe that we have 7 planes of existences. That's actually the seminar that I came to teach here to Delhi. And it's an in-person seminar of the Theta Healing modality. And we believe that every plane of existence has an answer to every problem that you have. So from the crystals to the plant medicine to human, the third plane of existence, the ancestors, realm of the spirits, the power animals, the spirit guides. On the 5th plane is our soul family and the masters. The 6th planes are the universal laws, and the 7th plane of existence is the energy of unconditional love, energy of creation, source.
Yeah.
People refer to it in different ways, but that actually is the energy that created everything, and we prefer to go to that energy because these lower levels like uh, 5th plane or 4th plane, they do have some conditions that you are not conditioned to when you are going straight to the source. But through the source, we can still connect to power animals and spirit guides and do and receive healings and communication and channel sacred knowledge through them. So it's more complex.
It's complex, but it's a wider thing, probably. Yeah. So it's got many layers. I think all the healing modalities have it, but then with theta healing, I in that theta state of mind. Is that so?
Yes, so the Theta Healing name comes from the
Yeah.
Theta brain wave,
Yeah.
because when we are in this meditative state, it's been measured that our brain is functioning from the Theta brain wave, and that's the Theta brain wave that gives us access to our subconscious. And 95% of our life is governed by our subconscious.
Totally.
Everyone in the world wants to be healthy and happy and prosperous. Yet, how many people are achieving that, right? Because of their subconscious limitations, inherited from ancestors, brought from other lifetimes, conditioned through the parents, through the childhood, by the culture, by the religion, even. So we are exposed to so many limitations that if we believe that, then that we have no choice but create our reality through those limitations. So that's what we're liberating ourselves from through the technique and through the seminars.
And it's so amazing when I met the other theta healers, and the way they work, it's so amazing that they know, okay, this is this level, now this is what is happening, then the belief system also, simultaneously they'll be working on everything.
Yes,
right? And it's so amazing while they're communicating with the things and finding it out and downloading, and that's so amazing. Even I had this experience, and I really loved it. The way the belief systems were. You cannot change it, but definitely, shade by shade, you make it shine. You what do you say? The rust goes away.
Well, we believe that we can change it, because when we find when it was created, what the purpose of it was, what we learned from it, we can indeed change it.
Once you get the learning.
Yes. And actually, when I met her, right, and she was radiant, I was suffering from a horrible lower back problem. I couldn't get out of bed. My children had to pull me out of bed, literally, in the morning. So I did have a physical problem, right? And then she gave me a session, and I felt a little relief, and I didn't know what happened in the session. I'm like, I know I shed some tears. I know I talked about some things, but I didn't really know what was happening, during the session. But I felt a bit lighter. And then she was teaching a basic seminar. I went. She was teaching an advanced seminar. I went. And then I healed my lower back instantaneously after that advanced seminar. And I said, if I was able to heal that, herniated disc that was giving me so much pain that I couldn't breathe, it was painful to breathe even, then I can change anything. And that's how I slowly started changing my life. Finances took me the longest, and romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But once I managed that too, that's when I became a teacher.
Wow. Isn't that beautiful that one has to go through each and every time, each and every step, and unclutter oneself to become a teacher? I feel that is so beautiful. Sometimes we are so much in hurry nowadays, especially that one after another, and we don't want to practice it and clear ourselves. We just want to, we have learned it in 3 days, we do it in fourth day, and we want to
No, I wanted to be credible. I wanted to have I didn't want to be the one who gives an advice, yet her life is not in order. I wanted to heal all areas of my life. And actually, I didn't have a desire to become an instructor. I just wanted to, improve my life and heal for my children and be a better mother and be a more, compatible partner. And my finances, I wanted to find finally financial safety and security. So these were and be healthy, of course. These were my goals.
Wow. And how much time did it take you?
5 years.
Wow. through theta.
Through theta, yes.
So when you talked about the lower backache, let's talk about that. What is it that usually people say, oh, it's a financial insecurity? The first thing when we talk about the chakras and the lowest chakra, the chakras, right? So the lowest is like so much of survival, and then the sacral, and then everything. So they usually say that and
that was a part of it, and that was a layer to it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my case.
So what was it?
I had to be very, very honest to myself. It was financially related, but it wasn't the case. So the truth was that I was in the United States with my children, waiting for my work permit green card, which I thought it was going to take me 6 months, yet a year and a half went by and I didn't really have an income. But I met a man who was a very kind man and who lived up in Connecticut. We were down in Florida and he had some properties. And I told him, why don't we do Airbnb? I manage it for you. You give the property, I give my expertise, I furnish it, I handle the guests and everything, and it's gonna be perfect. And I make you basically help me survive here. Okay, so that's what happened. But 100%ly, I depended on this man financially, and then he wanted more, and he wanted more, and basically I crippled myself so I wouldn't have to have. So when I was honest to myself, what is the benefit of me not being able to move? I realized when he was telling me, I will come down to Florida, I want to take you out for dinner, I want to sleep with you. That's when I crippled myself. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to want to, you know. So that was my reason. So when I realized that I can just say no to someone without having to have an excuse.
It's so amazing, Zsuzsanna. That realization itself, how
I
it
healed
heals.
instantaneously.
Wow.
I never had a back problem ever since.
Then.
That's now almost 10 years.
So it's like being authentic to oneself.
Yes.
The moment we recognize that, right? Realization is different. The moment we identify that,
Exactly.
and we become one, okay, fine, and what do you choose? And you get the learning, and what
am I getting out of it?
Yeah, what are you getting out of it?
Because people can get so upset when, someone comes to you with, for example, cancer, and you tell them, but what are you getting out of it? What do you mean I'm not getting out of it? Blah, 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 blah. But no,
there's something.
There is something. There is something. What changed since you got diagnosed? What happened? What is the small little benefit that's not what you're focusing on, but there is something. And when we find that benefit, the gain of the misery, of the suffering, that's when things shift.
So when we talk about that being, being in that victim mode.
Exactly.
And we start savoring it, and we like it. We start, caressing our own self to be a victim.
Oh, yeah,
and we want to play that game.
Until I was 40, I was such a pity for myself, for my childhood, for the father of my children, all the abuse, the financial struggles. I was in such a victim mode. Yeah.
It's so interesting when you become one.
When you were able to leave that behind and step into your power and take responsibility. I chose my parents. I created my reality. I learned from it. I am who I am because of those experiences. And I'm choosing empowerment.
Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Wow. And so what kind of people, usually the clients, they come to you for the healings?
Oh, wow. I have so many people. I mean, I have, my practice is in English, even though I'm from Hungary and it's my mother language. I speak 5 languages. So I have mostly English clients, but I also have some Spanish clients. I mean, Spanish, I mean Latin America or Spain, right? I also have some Hungarian clients, but I have from all over the world. I mean, I'm from New Zealand to Australia. I have from the Philippines, from China, India, all over Europe, from South Africa, Egypt, Saudi, I mean, and of course, whole United States, Canada, Japan, all over the world. Yes.
So which is the most common, the most common and that thing what people really sought after your help? Is it physical? Is it relationships? Is it medical? What is it?
Theta healers, it's very interesting. Most of the times, it's a soul to have a soulmate, to bring in that special person. Many women seem to be single and not being able to attract. Uh, many times, frequently, it's financial, or people that already started their healing business. They already started out, but they are not able to get clients. They are not able to be thriving in this industry. And of course, physical as well. And when it comes to physical, I'm not only using Theta Healing. I know another 4 or 5 modalities. I combine the knowledge, and that's how I treat physical, um, because I found it being creative and resourceful and having different tools is just a more contribution for my clients.
And it's so interesting, Zsuzsanna, that when people come to me, the clients come to me, and then they ask me that, okay, what kind of healing modality are you doing? And you say, once you are there, you don't know, because you are, in partnership with all the spirits and guides and everything, and then you become the medium, and you don't know what is coming to you. It's what is, they want to know exactly what are you doing at that time.
Oh, yes.
Even if you're, like you're saying, that so many, you have learned so many, at that time things come,
Things come, and whatever is the, because sometimes a client comes to me who is not able to accept a healing from that plane.
Exactly.
They are more believing in, or they are more receptive of an angelic healing, or they're more receptive of a vibrational healing. Then that's what I use through the creators, through the seventh plane in Theta. But I do like to combine
Same
my
here.
tools.
That's what I said. That then you combine, and then you feel that, and then you surrender, and you are in partnership.
Exactly.
So I really like that answer, because this is something which I also feel that I don't know what to explain. At times I say, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I feel good. You're fine. You've shifted. Your perception has changed. You're moving on. That's what is required.
That's what matters.
How does it matter? How does it matter?
But when I teach, I strictly stay to the rules of Theta Healing, of course, which is an amazing modality. Truly changed my life.
So beautiful. When you talk about soulmates, what do you think about that? So there's a twin mate, and then there is a soulmate.
So in Theta Healing, we talk about the 7 different levels of soulmate relationship, and actually the twin flame is the lowest level.
Oh.
A twin flame is very much like you. It triggers you a lot. There can be passion, but there can be also, pulling you down to heartbreak. And it's usually the shortest lived soulmate relationship. Of course, each soulmate level can shift to a new level, and then there are another 6 levels we can shift into. But what we Theta healers like to attract is the most compatible soulmate, most compatible life partner, or most compatible divine life partner. These are the 3 higher levels that we focus on and we desire.
Is it always the soulmate to be the life partner, or your mother or your sister or your friend can also be your soulmate?
Well, on a subconscious level, yes, many people believe that. Even like our cameraman here has a dog who is very important to them. Sometimes the dog is the soulmate of a person. Sometimes, indeed, people have energetic marriage with past partners, with siblings, with parents, with companies, with bosses. We can form energetic bonds so strong that doesn't really allow the romantic soulmate to come in, because the place is taken.
Yeah, there's no emptiness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However,
and
these
then,
are some limitations that we can release. We can do energetic divorce. So we make space for that special someone who is truly our soulmate. And of course, we all desire someone who will grow with us, and we can stay together for the rest of our life. But sometimes we are compatible with someone for a few years, and then our path just continues.
What do you think about the divorce on Earth reality?
Well, what do I actually
About
think
the
of
divorce?
marriage?
Yeah, marriage and
As an
divorce. Yeah,
institution, right?
exactly.
As an institution,
Yeah,
right? Well, of course, I'm from Europe, so we are more open-minded about these
yeah,
things.
yeah.
um, I think when two people have a special bond, we don't really need a paper, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
so beautiful.
but there's usually a ritual involved, and that ritual can indeed have a very bonding effect. So, how many women have been married once and then he passes away or he leaves her, and then they are not willing to open up to a new relationship, to a new man, because they are energetically still married to their
Yeah,
spouse,
so
who is maybe not even with us
present.
anymore, right? So, um, divorce is again a paper, it's again on our reality. Energetically, it doesn't mean that we are divorced. It's two different things, right? Being divorced in paper or being divorced energetically and truly feeling free to open up to another person.
Julian, have you seen that mostly in these workshops, spiritual workshops, women are they outnumber men?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So I
Even
always
though
feel,
I was teaching a seminar a couple of weeks ago, the Dig Deeper, which is the third level, and I had as many men as, or
wow.
I had, no, I had 3 men and 6 women, but
Yeah.
that was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Wow,
finally, the
actually.
men are, and
Yeah.
men are amazing. Men are so intuitive. Men, I actually, when I was starting out and I was attending seminars, I always loved when there was a man, because they always had a different perspective, a completely different point of view of the same uh, subject that usually women do. So I really like the energy of men healers,
Yeah.
but yes, they are catching up.
Yeah. So it's always like jokingly, we always say that women have this tribe, men have the game, you know?
Oh, I
They'll be
like
together
that.
for the game, right? And women have, the support system, the tribe, and all the emotional ties are going on in that circular thing, and they protect and they, survive, and everything goes on. So it's so interesting, and that's what I always feel that even for the clients, I think the number of women are more because they are more emotional. They are handling so much more, or the belief system, or any of the things, masculine, feminine energy.
Well,
So
yeah,
much.
like compassion,
Yeah, like
caring,
love, and
love.
and they are giving birth. There's so much like a motherly feeling, so attachments, and so much goes on for them. So many changes, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you think about manifestation when we talk about the theta layers? So because there's so much in the air, everywhere, it's just social media is showered,
Oh, yes.
flooded, not showered, flooded with
Flooded with
manifestation.
manifesting, yeah,
Yeah.
manifestation
What
tips.
exactly it is, and how do you,
It
work
doesn't
with it?
matter what people want to manifest. If their subconscious program is preventing it, then they're not going to manifest it. Or even if they're going to manifest it, it's going to be a temporary thing and it's going to be taken away because the subconscious, will,
The limiting beliefs
the
and all.
limiting beliefs. So until those limiting beliefs are reprogrammed,
Yeah.
it's not going to be coming to our life.
I have experience, as I told you, the theta healer, and that's one girl. She's been with me, and I've been associated with her, and there's so much of trust and integrity I find, and it's been quite some time, around 8, 9, 10 years or so. Whenever I need it, I felt that I have to go to her, and then when she learned theta, the way she helped me.
Hmm.
And I used to feel, okay, fine, understood, yes, I'm fine. And she would close her eyes, she would exactly tell me, and then she'll say, are you comfortable with that? Are you ready for that? Which I loved it. The whole process, why I'm saying is that
It's
because
about
it
free
is,
agency.
yeah,
Yes, you have a choice.
yeah, that's what I wanted to come to. And then she would say, because you had a choice, and that's why you could make that shift.
Yes.
And so that is what I want you to tell everybody. What are the choices?
Oh, we have infinite choices and possibilities and
And
opportunities.
how do they play important role in our lives?
Well, I mean, for example, we can get inspired by someone, right? If she can do it, I can do it too. Why not?
The
Right?
possibilities.
Yes. It was a huge shift for me because I used to be jealous, right? I used to envy. Like I saw someone who had something or
Wow.
was experiencing something that I really desired, I really wanted, and I wasn't available to me. I would be jealous or triggered or envious. And then I connected to the creator's energy, and creator told me, they are just showing you that you can choose that too. Right? So from that time, I was like, thank you for showing me that I can choose that too. Yes, I choose that too. What is blocking me from being able to manifest that? What's blocking me from being able to attract that into my life? Do I feel worthy of that? And worthiness is a huge component when it comes to manifestation, right? To truly believe that I am deserving and worthy of good things as well, right?
Yeah, so beautiful. Because when we talk about jealousies and when we are envious and when we have gone through, in our lives the tough times, and we look at somebody else, even if it's like your partner, and you feel that you're not getting along, you're stuck in a toxic relationship, and you go to a restaurant or somewhere and you find the couple,
And they are
and you
cute and they talk and you can just tell.
sharing, and suddenly there's a
Yeah. Like why don't
why
I have
can't I
that? Why
have?
can't I have
Yeah,
that? Right.
isn't that amazing?
And what it comes to manifestation, I have one suggestion that, first just try small things. Like I have sometimes a client and she says, oh, I'm manifesting $1 million. I'm like, okay, but you're living in a trailer park. I'm just, I'm just kidding.
No, I understand.
But
Like,
why
what are you
don't you just
doing?
first manifest, enough money to pay rent for a place, or to change your car, like, just start out small, because when you succeed in those, that will give you so much motivation and confidence. Oh, I was able to manifest that. I was able to attract that into my life. What's the next? What's the next? What's the next? Right? So little bit being like, have a little common sense as well, I would say.
Yeah. This is so amazing. Thank you. Because people don't tell this so openly when they talk about manifestation, and then they come and I want to earn this many lakhs and millions. So are you crazy? Have you started? What are you doing? Where you're still giving your EMIs? What are you doing? Start working.
Or I want a soulmate. Are you on a social? Are you on
Are
a
you become?
dating app?
Yeah.
Are you dating?
Yeah.
Or you're just sitting home from the? Nobody's gonna. I mean, not nobody. Some
Action.
people
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
knock on your door,
Yeah.
but your chances, like, put yourself out there, right? Because I mean, there are action steps needed as well. Not just raising the vibration and trying to attract things. We also need to do things that give a bigger opportunity for the universe to be able to bring those shifts into our lives.
So, what is the difference in fifth dimension and the seventh dimension?
So
As
not
you said?
dimensions, planes of existences. Yes,
Okay,
planes
planes
of
of existence.
yes.
Yes. What
So
is it? So the earth reality is the
is the third plane.
third.
Yes. And then is the fourth plane. That's
Yeah.
the realm of the spirits, where our ancestors are and where we go after
spiritual
death.
guides who've been into human body and then they leave, and those are the guides.
Or they
and all?
haven't been in human body yet, but they are preparing to be to born.
Okay.
Yes, but we are all born on the fifth plane. We are all fifth plane beings. Fifth plane is where our soul families are, where our divine mother and fathers are, where our masters are, like Buddha, Jesus, Mohammed, depending the religion. There are masters of the fifth plane, where angels are, where our council of 12 is. And then the sixth plane is the laws of the universe. We have millions of laws: law of attraction, law of vibration, law of electricity. I mean, millions of laws. And then the seventh plane is the energy of creation.
Yeah. So when we talk about that, when we are into that theta healing
Theta state.
the theta state, you're working from the seventh
Yes,
plane?
we're working from the seventh. We practitioners
Yeah.
are connected to the seventh. So whatever is I'm guided to offer to you, it could be also from another plane of existence, depending on your conditioning and belief system. But I am connected to the seventh plane, channeling that information. What it is the highest and the best for you.
So when you're saying that everybody, all of us are born from the fifth plane, and then how do we come down to third plane?
So first we go to the fourth plane to learn
Yeah.
about, this human experience, learn some things, and then we choose
Our parents.
our
and every-
parents and our divine mission in earth and our divine timing and some important experiences that we're gonna go through in our life.
So,
And then
Zsuzsanna,
we are born.
while we are talking this, what do you understand with fate or destiny?
Mhm.
So this is action, of course. When you make choices, is action. Like you're dreaming, but then dream and act towards
Mhm.
that dream. So what is destiny? What do you understand of destiny and fate?
I think we are fate changers. I think we can have choices, and I do that daily. Basically, when I have choices to make, do I choose A or B? I tap into the possible future, the energy of that future. I tap into the future self of mine in that timeline. What am I creating if I'm choosing A? What am I creating if I'm choosing B? And then I go for the one that I like better, that it feels more expensive, that it feels more joyful, that it feels more lighter, right? So, and we have infinite choices. So I don't believe that indeed there is a destiny written in stone. That's why I don't suggest for my clients, my students, for go to future tellers, because the future teller, if the future teller is talented, because many of them just
But what about the horoscope? Because so many, even in the West, I see that they go the
yeah, those are
horoscope. They
very,
see it.
very strong group consciousnesses indeed.
Yeah.
And if we
So-
believe it, we create through it. If we believe that Mercury retrograde will cause our electric
So it's a thought.
appliances to go to act up, guess
It
what?
will.
The universe has no choice but prove you right. Whatever you believe. If you believe men are terrible and cheaters, that's the only kind of man you're gonna attract.
Wow.
If you believe that August is a good month for me, guess what? August will be a good month for you. If you believe that Pisces men are not good for you, they're not going to be good for you. So it's the same with horoscope, it's the same with astrology. I think we can rise above it. I think that the energy of creation is omnipotent and more powerful than these group consciousnesses.
Interesting, because otherwise it said that 80%, some of the things cannot be changed. They cannot be changed. They are probably meant to be the way you were born, the way things, you
We
cannot choose.
choose. We
Yeah, we
choose
choose, but
when we
once
are born,
and
right?
then,
I mean,
yeah.
there is a reason why I'm born in Hungary in 1978, December 1st, right? It wasn't just random, right? But what we call them is divine timings. Those are unchangeable. And this is the philosophy of Theta Healing, right? So divine timings are important life events in our life that are unchangeable. But everything else is changeable. And how we get to those divine timings, am I single? Am I married? Am I poor? Am I prosperous? Am I healthy? Am I miserable? That depends on me. That's my free agency. Those are the things that we can change.
Amazing. So in India, we believe in that Lord Krishna said, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the creator of my destiny. Right? Everything is in my hand. So that's so amazing.
It's true.
Yeah,
We are
it's so
spark of
true.
God. We have the ability to co-create our life.
But the moment we have this awareness also, so whatever comes, the ups and downs, right? Then you attain the state of equanimity. That through that also you can wade through that.
Yes.
And you understand it that probably and how I choose to respond now. not to
Exactly.
react.
Exactly. I haven't had many difficulties in the past few years, I must say, because as soon as something feels, like, what's going on here? I connect. I look at it from a higher perspective. I don't go into the drama. Oh, poor me. Why do you? No. I look at it from a higher perspective. What's going on here? Why did I attract this into my life? And then I shift it, and things happen instantaneously. Things change. I get a phone call, and it's already resolved. I mean,
Yeah.
I have had many experiences that, like it seems like magic or miracles because because since
So
I've been living this way.
yeah, like I always say that there's nothing like darkness, only absence of light.
Yes.
The moment the earth rotates, right? The sun is there. The moment we are in front of the sun, it's a new day.
And another perspective of the same is, right, only at noon we don't have a shadow.
Exactly.
Only
Exactly.
at noon
Yes.
we don't have a shadow. In every other time we have a shadow. So it's normal to have shadow. It's normal to be. It's normal to be familiar with it and explore it.
And move towards the light, and so the other time comes and clock always ticks, and it carries on. What are the most, I mean, the best of your works which you feel that you have you have really you feel that this is my work besides theta? There are many things you're doing it, right? What is your best of it, which you
Well,
love it?
it's coming. I'm writing books. I'm actually writing two books. One is my life story, which is a very inspirational story. How I went through so much, yet if I can do it, anyone can do it. You can do it too.
I love that, when I was reading your website and I said she has to write a book. I was thinking, I said, oh my God, she has to put it in the story.
And anyone I spoke about my story to always said the same thing. And I know, and I started writing this book about 7, 8 years ago, but it was still from that victim mentality. Wah, wah, wah. And that's not what I wanted. I want to write that book from a completely healed version of myself, to inspire, to give women courage who are being abused. And people who are being abused, not only women are being abused, right?
Yeah.
And I'm writing another book about more virtues. I have a virtue series that I'm really into virtues and why we learn virtues and what limiting ways we're trying to cultivate virtues. Because indeed, also in the Theta Healing, we believe that our higher self, our soul, is truly here to learn virtues.
Yeah. Do you believe in heaven and hell theory?
No. Even though I was raised Catholic, uh, in Bible study, I would ask questions from the priest that I'm surprised he had any hair left by the time I had my first communion, because I was always like, questioning, okay, if there was Adam and Eve, and they had two sons and one killed the other, how did they populate the earth? 7 years old. So yeah, this hell theory and purgatorium and heaven, no. I don't think that God is punishing, and that's a very strong
Very
consciousness.
empowering.
Consciousness, no, love, Creator, God loves us, and God wants us to find happiness and empowerment and enlightenment and joy and find heaven on earth.
Do you believe that the question has to be right? You have
Oh,
to
very
question it.
important.
How important is a question?
Also, what question I ask Creator? It's very, very important. The questions I ask myself, essential. Very, very important. And how many times I ask the wrong questions? Yes. Yeah, it's also an art, right? I mean, of course, now I have 9 years of practice. Now I know what type of questions to ask, but that wasn't always the same way.
Yeah. And what do you feel that when people get into that victim mode, the two words you want to tell them?
Hmm. First of all, it's very important to learn when it comes to virtue, it's the compassion. And so many people confuse compassion with pity. Compassion is high vibration. Pitying someone is a low vibration. So when I pity myself, that's a low vibration. When I feel compassionate about myself, right, without judgment of my past decisions and actions, that is healing. So instead of pitying, poor me, because when I pity myself and I'm in a victim mode, I give power to all the people that had influenced that, right? I'm basically blaming it on others.
Yeah.
So by that, I'm giving power to them, right? So here I am, insignificant, powerless, and they just took advantage of me and they hurt me, right? That's victimhood. It's not being in my power. So why are we giving the power to others? Why not saying, you know what, I can step into my power and I can change my life?
It's so empowering. The role of a society?
Oh, it's huge. Again, very heavy and strong group consciousnesses. And I love to make the example of COVID. They had the people who were pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro-mask, anti-mask, pro going out, stay home. And then it was so strong, right? I mean, people would stop being friends and families would get into fights over these different ideas. These were all very strong group consciousnesses. And for example, I had I made up my mind about what I'm going to do. And then I would meet someone and they would be so convincing that by the end of the conversation, I almost changed my opinion. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to believe that. I don't want to join that group consciousness. I want to be true to what I channel to be my highest and best, right? And it's the same with anything, right? Like people can influence us. And it's so very important that we choose people to ask advice from
Yeah.
who have their life together. Like, don't go and get financial advice from someone who is broke.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm?
That's so interesting because I always say that if they're saying that, okay, you can make this much of money, ask him, has he?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, or you're just a teacher, or you're just
Or is it
because
just a
it's
pyramid
just what,
system?
yeah, it's just what are you?
Or are you
What
just
are,
doing this for
yeah,
commission?
have peace. Have you found it? Are you
Mm,
peaceful? While you're talking, do you feel that peace? So I
exactly.
always, so it's something like you become one, and then it
Mm,
comes out. I mean, it exudes. The whole energy exudes. You work on yourself.
mm,
That's so important
very
first. That's what,
important.
yeah. And what is your thought on meditation?
Oh, well, I mean, theta healing is a meditation.
Yeah.
Like what we do is starting with a meditation and we meditate, and that's how we reach the theta state. And I mean, it's very, very important to
So,
meditate, to slow down those those beta,
drum and the chaos and
the
everything.
chaos, I have to find solution and challenges are here and I have to, and there's stress. Our brain really needs, and our body is able to repair and rejuvenate and regenerate when we are in a theta and when we are meditating. The earth is healing when we are meditating,
Yes.
I mean, we are healing our environment when we are meditating because we are strong. We are, our aura, it's meters long. I mean, we affect what's, our environment. So yeah, meditate. It's very, very, very important. And going back to my best accomplishments is my children, of course, raising my children
Yes.
and seeing that they are well, even though I was a single mom and we went through a lot. My son is a decent man who has respect for women, who is 22 and has his own business in Florida. He's self-efficient.
So
And
good.
my daughter who is in college and has such a great point of view of the world, and that's my biggest accomplishment.
Can you be honest to your kids?
Oh, I am a very honest person.
So
Yeah.
do they see the witch side of you also, when you're angry, when you're not, when you're whatever,
Well,
being a mother?
they haven't seen me angry in a very long time. I just
Yeah,
they
but
saw
then
me
when
more
you,
like frustrated,
yeah,
like
anxious,
that.
frustrated,
But then I would be like, and then it was gone. I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, my son, we had. Yeah, I mean, he was a boy. He was taller than me already when he was 13, and then he was. Uh, he had a couple of years when. We had a little bit friction going on, and yeah, there was some drama, I admit, but that was still before Theta.
yeah, I understand. How does intuition, like, important plays an important part?
I mean, we are all intuitive beings. That's so important to understand that intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
And how do you
Right?
use it? How do you feel it?
I mean, there are different people, right? Some people feel, kinesthetic people feel, then there are auditory people that can hear voices, right? And they are not crazy, these can be voices of your higher self, of your spirit guide, of the divine guidance, right? And then there could be other voices as well, but truly to understand which voice to listen to.
Yeah,
And then there are people that have visions, right?
yeah.
I was more visual, and then there are people that just know. So
They have this sense of knowing.
at the sense of knowing at the moment, because I've been doing so much for so long, I have all of them. But when I started Theta Healing, I was more visual than anything.
And in Theta, all of these senses come for, like,
Yes, and are supported.
yeah, they're supported. Yeah.
Yes.
So amazing.
Intuition is very important.
Very
I mean,
important.
I wouldn't be able to tap into the possible future that I'm creating through a decision that I make, A or B, if I wasn't intuitive, right? So I use intuition as an everyday tool in almost everything I do. What my body wants to eat, what should I do? Should I buy this? Should I do this? I use intuition. I mean, funny story, but in the last 12 months, on the stock market, I made 178%. Intuition. I tap into the business and I check, is the stock going up or not? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So, Zsuzsien, how many classes do you hold in a year?
Oh,
I mean, the
many.
workshops and
I do
besides
many.
individual
I
one-to-one
love
consultation.
teaching. So I do have clients, but my teaching is my main profile. I love teaching. If you told me 10 years ago I'm going to be an instructor, I'm going to be teaching people, I would be like, yeah, something is wrong with it. What did you smoke? Right? Like, I do love to teach. So I teach a lot. Even this year, I think I have another like 6 or 7 upcoming seminars. Uh, I think last year I thought 40, but some of the most of the seminars are two days. There are some one-day seminars, and then we have the 3 weeks intuitive anatomy, which is truly about the healing the human body. And there are some 5 days long seminars, but I think I teach in an average 40 seminars a year.
Wow. And all over the world, spread all over the world?
Well, only 2 seminars I travel with. One is You and the Earth, and another one is Planes of Existence. So I'm here in Delhi teaching these two. But in September, I was in Romania for 11 days teaching these 2 seminars. In the spring, I was in California, in Albania. So I do travel with these two. But most of my seminars are online. So, if you speak English, if you have Zoom, I'm available.
So I really want you to tell everybody, like, if somebody is interested to learn Theta, how should they approach and what are the different levels of it? That's
Mhm.
all.
Well, to start is the basic seminar.
And
That's
anybody
level
can do
one.
it? Anybody?
Anyone can do
Okay.
it. You can do it.
Yeah.
We teach you step by step how to scan a human body, how to uh, read future, how to speak to a guardian angel. I mean, there are hand-on exercises that we do in basic, and you learn about the soulmates, you learn about manifesting, you learn about the planes of existences. It's a lot, but you can also just buy the Theta Healing book that is called Theta Healing. That's the first book, which is the basic seminars curriculum. So you can just read that, and go through the exercises on your own. And if you resonate with it, and if you would like to continue your education, then you find a teacher. And of course, you can come to me, but there are amazing, talented teachers. And it's very important that you resonate with that person. You say you have a Theta Healer, you resonate with, you're true to her, right? I might be some people's choice, but I not necessarily. So basic, then second level is advanced, level 3 is dig deeper, and these are built on
So,
each
like,
other.
in the span of how many years?
Oh no,
Or,
these are
or
basic is 3 days, advanced is 3 days, dig
okay,
deeper is 2 days
okay,
long.
and 1 year
You can do
people
this in
can
3 weeks,
the
or
whole of it.
or you can do it basically in 10 days, right? I mean, if you want to. And then after dig deeper, you have many, like we have relationship, money, animal healing, weight, finding your perfect weight. Like then after dig deeper, you have the prerequisites to take other seminars. But I always recommend to take UN Creator as a fourth level, because our relationship to the source, to the creator, to God is the most important one when it comes to Theta healing.
So amazing to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
What would you like to tell?
Well, why don't we
Everybody.
connect to Theta? Why don't we connect through the meditation to Theta and just tap into that unconditional love of the creator?
Let's do that.
Because most people think that love is conditioned. Our parents would give us love when we did something, like we had to perform, or we had to be cute, or we had to be nice. So they were conditioned love, right? And unconditional love is so powerful. It can move anything, it can heal anyone. So I want you to experience the unconditional
Let's
love.
do that.
Okay. All right. To close your eyes, find a comfortable position. So like if you're driving, listening to this podcast, maybe stop.
I know.
And start when you are home, and just bring your focus to the here, to the now. And take some deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And bring your attention to your heart that is full of love and compassion and joy. And imagine, visualize that you're starting to send this energy from your heart space down to the core of Mother Earth, that is part of all that is. Mother Earth actually loves us unconditionally. It's not asking for anything in return, right? But it gives us everything. And then start pulling that energy from the core of the earth to your body through the soles of your feet. Visualize it or feel it entering your legs, your spine, opening your chakras in the front, in the back, making its way all the way to the top of your head, through the crown chakra, and forming a beautiful ball of light. Now imagine that you sit in this ball of light and start to go up, up, up. See yourself from above, see the building from above. The higher you go, the faster you go, past the sky, the stars. You have the intention to connect to this energy of creation beyond the universe. You get to some layers and layers of lights, bright lights, dark lights. These are the fourth plane lights. Then you get to beautiful golden lights. These are the fifth plane. Then you get to a jelly-like substance that are the universal laws, and effortlessly just go through it to a pink mist that is the law of compassion that pushes you up to this pearly bright white light energy. This energy of unconditional love, this energy of creation is an iridescent, bright white light. And keep going, keep going. You have birthright to be here, to connect to this energy. You are part of this energy. You are home. Keep going higher and higher and feel the ball that you traveled in dissolve slowly. And feel that this unconditional love energy is sustaining you and embracing you, welcoming you. And feel this energy of unconditional love flowing to you and through you. And just stay in this energy. Allow this energy to go into the parts of your body that needs healings, recharging, replenishing. And then we're going to make a request, a command to the Creator. So just repeat after me in your head. Creator of all there is. It is requested, commanded, that I send unconditional love energy to my body and to all areas of my life and to my relationships and to my loved ones. Thank you, Creator. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show me. And now just witness that. See that unconditional love showering your loved ones, your bank accounts, your job, your relationships. Your human body. And then bring your attention back to your body through your crown chakra. And then we ground back to Mother Earth, which is very important. So again, just visualize or feel that the energy from your heart space goes down to core of the earth. Pull that energy back up through the soles of your feet. Allow it merging up all the way to the top of your head. Ground back to Mother Earth. And open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you. Wow. So beautiful. So when I first felt this energy, I knew this was for me.
Yeah. So beautiful, so peaceful, yet grounding, yet compassionate.
And it's quick.
And it's so quick. Lovely. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening and being here with us.
Thank you. And all the details will be in the description box, and you can contact her for all the courses. Thank you for watching this.
Thank you.